Hi, my name is Matthew Belisario. Welcome to another edition of the Belisario Sonic YouTube channel. Tonight, I want to do a quick review of Steven Wilson's new record, The Future Bites. I just got it in the mail today, sat down and listened to it one time through, made a few notes, and I just wanted to do a brief review. Um, this is a interesting album. I enjoyed listening to it through. I put it on, listened to it through, made a few notes, enjoyed the mix. I thought it was very interesting. Something quite different than what he's done than what I've heard. I have almost everything he's done, um, and that's one thing I like about him is that you just don't know what you're gonna get of what he's into, and I think that's what makes him interesting. It's like what's he into, what's he gonna do this time, and so that's kind of refreshing. This album is not a typical pop album where you're going to have your verse, chorus, guitar solo, bridge, verse, chorus, that type of thing. I would say, right out the outset, very atmospheric. A lot of cool rhythms, electronic. Uh, the guitars create an atmosphere rather than sticking out as guitar solos and things like that. So I'm going to talk about it as I go through some of the tracks here. Um, the Blu-ray disc here contains stereo 5.1 and Dolby Atmos. I don't have an Atmos system, so I can't review that, but I do have 5.1, which I listen to, and I really enjoyed that. Comes with one disc and a little booklet with the lyrics, and then at the back the different instruments that were used for each track. There's two videos on the disc, and that's it. So I really enjoyed it. I'm going to talk a little bit about uh, the notes here that I made. I would say right off, um, this disc is not a lot of guitar solos on it. I think really there's only two tracks that I heard the electric guitar stick out in any kind of a way that was even close to a guitar solo. Um, the first track starts off kind of with almost a lo-fi acoustic sound with some vocals, and then it kicks right into this heavy rhythm. And for the first three tracks, you really have a lot of that heavy rhythm, vocals right up front, nice, cool surround sound, synth mixes. Really enjoyed that. The only two songs that I'd heard previously on this record was King Ghost and Personal Shopper. Those are the only two I'd heard previously before listening and sitting through all nine of these tracks. Um, so the first three tracks really heavy on the rhythm. I thought that the synthesizers, everything was the vocals up front, very nice atmosphere, electronic atmosphere, almost kind of an '80s feel, but not a little bit there. If I could use an analogy, but kind of heavy hitting and kind of sets the tone. The first three tracks. I think King Ghost is probably the strongest out of those three tracks. Just personal, right after hearing just one time through. So that's just first impression. And then track four, it just changes. Boom! It just kind of just changes up, which is kind of cool. Track four, beautiful acoustic mixes and guitars, and almost a really a pop memorable song that really stuck in my head. And I really enjoyed the way it was mixed with the acoustic guitars and the atmosphere it created with the 5.1 mix. Track five, Imminent Sleaze, very heavy on the rhythm. I would almost call it almost a tribal sound. Um, Very percussive. First time I heard the electric guitar stick out hardly at all that I noticed with the distortion and kind of a short kind of a guitar fill. Um, Everything in this record is done, in my opinion, and I'd love to talk to Steven about this, but it seems like a very atmospheric record. All the instruments are placed to create an atmosphere. The only way I can describe it. So it's very unique in my opinion. The way it's done, and the vocals are very good. The lyrics are very interesting. Um, Track six, again, I wrote down atmospheric on that. I just thought that it was just so well done. I heard the Fender Rhodes there, and I liked the surround percussion that was in this particular track, Man of the People. Track seven, if you haven't heard that, that's one of his videos he released, Personal Shopper. I enjoyed that. I would say it has a heavy 80s synth sound to it. Um, Great bass, and I thought that it almost has kind of a dance sound, but I really enjoyed the lyrics on it because it's so relevant to today. I mean, and I fall into that category, and I think Steven talks about this in some of his interviews that we just like to buy stuff, and I'm guilty of that. I love to pick up the latest box set, buy this, buy that. Um, I do try to listen to everything I buy. I do not collect stuff just to collect stuff. I'm definitely not one of those people that leaves the album in the wrapper so that I can try to sell it later and make money off of it. I don't do that stuff. If I'm going to buy a record, I want to be able to listen to it. So I do not buy things for the collectability of it. Oh, I'm going to go out and get this because it might be worth something and it's only going to be a few made and I can try to make money and whatever. I don't do any of that. If I do buy it and it is collectible, that's great. I enjoy having it, but I want to listen to the music. So that's just my take on that. Now, I thought the background vocals on Personal Shopper, I enjoyed that. Again, great surround synth sounds I wrote down. And then I had a cool interlude with the surround acoustic while they're listing out the different shopping items and things like that. So I really enjoyed that track. I think it was just really well done. Track 8, Follower. I kind of again put this kind of in almost an 80s pop sound in a good way. Again, really cool progressions on this. It's the first time I heard like a real guitar solo. It's not very long, but you have that really cool distortion sound with the electric guitar. Again, most of the time the guitars are used to create the atmosphere of the entire sound that you're hearing together. Where in this track you do hear an electric guitar solo. Really cool progressions in this one, and again, just a really cool surround synth sound. I just really enjoyed listening to it. And then track 9 kind of took me by surprise. And I know Steven has said many times in his interviews that he likes to sit down and really figure out how he's going to organize the order of the tracks. So this one kind of took me by surprise because most of the other things are kind of, they move along, they kind of hit you, they have that rhythm, they have the synth surround, they're really a lot of movement, I would say, and a really cool atmosphere, and it just kind of sets a kind of a tone through the album. When you get to 9, I was like, whoa, okay, is he? It kind of took me by surprise. You'll hear what I'm talking about. That it's the slowest track on the album. Um, it I wrote down that it has a great opening percussion in the rear. It has kind of like these percussive sounds that are going on in the rear. Very strong vocal up front. Again, it's a slow track. Kind of has a building atmospheric synth. There's some electric guitar, clean electric guitar in the mix, and I wrote down interesting closing track because it feels like it's gonna build and build, and then it just kind of mellows out, and then that's it. So, very cool. I mean, very interesting, and I'd love to hear him give a explanation of the ordering of the tracks because it's interesting on why people order the tracks in the order that they put them in. And I did the same thing on my CD that I did, and I've got 9 tracks on it, and I was very spent a lot of time trying to figure out what order I wanted to put the songs in so that everything flowed together and then ended a certain way that I wanted it to end. So I'm sure it was very interesting the way he ordered the tracks and the mood that it sets. And so I really enjoyed this this outing by Steven Wilson. I would say go out and get it, get the 5.1 surround and stick it on and just sit down and listen and enjoy what the atmosphere that he's created on this album. All right, we'll talk to you next time. Take care.